do is do right things. I never wanted to be the king. All I ever wanted to do was save your life. I never wanted to grab a knife. If I lose it all, slip and fall, I'll never look away. If I lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. If I lose it all, outside the wall, it to die another day. I don't want anything and just you say. All I ever wanted to do is know what's out there. I refuse to lose me that I fight so long. Yeah. Oh. Just too young, it can only take his hands. Like he's there for 19 and 10. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If I lose it all, slip and fall, will you laugh at me? If I lose it all, lose it all. If I lose it all, slip and fall, I'll never look away. If I lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. If I lose it all, outside the wall, to die another day. I don't want anything, I'm just to
Hello, welcome to another Godzilla Month 4 video. And yes, I know I did say the last video will be the last Godzilla Month video, but you know what? I'm feeling generous. Since the holidays are right around the corner, I am feeling generous and giving Godzilla Month one more day. At least one more day. And what will be the topic of this video? I know there's been like a lot of Godzilla Minus One topics this month, but can you blame me? Today we'll be talking about Godzilla Minus One 1 year later review. And yes, I'll be doing a full-on review and not giving my thoughts. I know I did like a review like last year, giving my thoughts. It was more of a thoughts and / review video than an actual review. This will be a full-on review, talking about the movie and breaking it down and what goes on in the movie. But to sum up, I really enjoyed this movie. Like, it's really good. The characters, I should probably pull up IMDb's because I'm not really good when it comes to... Okay, I am taking a Duolingo class to learn how to speak Japanese, speak fluent Japanese, so I am learning. It's probably going to take like a month to do. I already finished like the first course of the first test of Duolingo. I just need to get through the courses. So I have to get through like section 1 first in order to get to the more advanced stuff. So yeah, I am taking a diving class for Japanese. So yeah, that's something. It might not help. It might help. I don't know. I don't know. I probably have to talk to like someone from Japan who understands Japanese in order to know what I say. So I might need to go to a sushi shop. Yay. All right. All right. Let's. All right. No. Minus one. Characters. Why does it always take me to Yahoo? Don't want to use Yahoo. I want to use Google. Give me a sec. I know I'm delaying the review, but my bad. I have to. I'm pretty sure my viewers are probably used to it by now. But okay, give me a sec. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, got him up. All right. Okay, the main character played by Koichi Shishu Shish Shishi Shishi Shishikihama. I think that's how you pronounce it. And the supporting characters are Kenji. Well, the main supporting characters are Kenji Dora, Sumuku Ota, Yojo Shiro, and I believe what was her name? No, her name's on here. I'm only talking about the main supporting characters, not the other supporting characters, because those are the ones we focus on the most throughout the movie. So no radio announcers, no actual. We're focusing on only a main focus of characters: Noiko, Koichi, Sumuko, Kenji, Hyokujo, Shiro, and Akiko. And Akiko's probably my favorite character in the movie because I just love her acting and how convincing she is. She's probably one of my favorite characters in the movie, and I'd like to see her story expand upon in probably the next film if they decide to do a sequel, which I'm hoping they're doing. I'm hoping they don't read towards the route. If they are doing the sequel, I recommend reusing the Noriko actor and maybe have her play Akiko. I'm pretty sure audience would be okay with that. They'd be okay with seeing the same actor for Noiko play Akiko. I'm pretty sure audience will be okay with that. Just seeing her because they'll probably say, "Oh my god, it looks like her mother. She looks like her mother now." Like I'm pretty sure they'll be okay with that. I'm pretty sure they'll be okay with that. Like they would be okay with that. They would be okay with that. Okay, I know they would, but and I'm afraid Shuichi probably won't come back for the sequel. But let's not focus on the sequel. Let's focus on Minus One. And Minus One, I just in love with the characters. Like all the characters, Cap, Kid, Doc. Let's call by the names, just by the names. Cap, Kid, Doc, Richi, Sumiko, and Sumiko and Noiko. I am so invested in the characters. Like I know there's not a lot of Godzilla on screen, and he doesn't show up until like I think like almost the hour mark, and he only has like a 15-minute destruction, like a 20-minute destruction scene. Like he doesn't show up to like the 55-minute mark, and he does have like a draw scene like the 40-minute mark. But yeah, I'm still invested even without Godzilla on screen. Like I'm so invested in these characters that to be honest, I know this is like the first time. Well, I actually don't even care that Godzilla's in the movie. Like, I honestly don't care. Okay, let me say something here. I do like this Godzilla in the movie. We'll get to him in eventually, but I actually care more about the human characters than actually Godzilla. That's a first in a Godzilla film where I actually care more about the. Well, okay, maybe not the first time because I have seen other Godzilla films, but this is the first time in a long time where I actually care about the human characters in the Godzilla film. Like, Yeah, I know I do like Shin Godzilla, but let's be real, I didn't really care for the characters for Shin Godzilla. Like that was kind of the point, so I'll let that pass. But I didn't honestly care for the human characters in Shin Godzilla. I didn't care for the human characters in that god awful anime trilogy, which to be honest, Planet Eater, Monster Planet, guilty pleasures, but they're still bad. They are guilty pleasures, but they're still bad. We don't speak of the anime trilogy. And Single Point, actually, that one is it's a guilty pleasure. It's good, but the human characters aren't really that interesting, in my opinion. There's nothing really to them. Besides like the grandpa character, Gramps. That's what I call him, Gramps. That's the only character that I actually do care for because his character is pretty interesting, and I do care for a little bit of the main character and the main female lead. I do care for them. They do have interesting characters. So, but those are probably the only two characters I care about. The rest of the cast, I honestly don't give two craps about. But when I'm talking about a really interesting cast, there hasn't been a really interesting cast since Final Wars, which was 19 years later, 19 years before, since this movie came out. There hasn't been a really interesting cast. And before you all say it, but what about King of the Monsters? Didn't that have an interesting cast? Yes. But here's the problem with King of the Monsters. With King of the Monsters, they were cracking way too many jokes, and that kind of ruined the interesting parts of the movie a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I still like the movie. It just ruined it a little bit for me, just because of the comedic jokes that they pulled. Like they pulled a lot of comedic jokes, and to be honest, Minus One kind of pushed this movie out of the top 10. Don't get me wrong, this one's at like number 11, but it pushed it out of the top 10. Yeah, it honestly did. It really did push it out of the top 10. Yeah, that's usually what happens with newer Godzilla movies. They push them out of the top 10. Like this movie is so good that I'm so developed in the human characters. And also, I'm not a Toho purist. I'm not. I actually do care about the MonsterVerse. I care about 2014 Kong Skull Island and King of the Monsters. I don't really care for the One God films, but I do care about those three. But my God, this movie is so goddamn good. Like, my God, the human characters are probably the best parts of this movie. Like, I just love the scenes that they're in. They feel so fluent, so well done, so mesmerizing. Like, I legit will never forget that movie experience that I felt the first time I watched this. I will never forget that movie. Like, I know I probably wasn't around when the first Godzilla movie came out. I know my grandmother was, but I wasn't around when that movie came out, and I didn't know what Godzilla was. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it is. I wasn't even a thought in my head because I wasn't even born. I wasn't. My parents weren't even born yet, and it wasn't even a thought in their head. So, what was this Godzilla movie like for me? It felt like being in the audience back in 1954. I I swear to God, like I was so interested in these characters that I couldn't care less if Godzilla was on screen. Like these characters are so interesting, and yes, I know there might be some people who say, but it kind of aged a little bit after years. Like no, it did not. It did not age. It aged well, and it's gonna age well in the coming years. Like I don't see anybody who will hate this film in the coming years. Yeah, there'll be probably a few. I know a few, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this movie will be a classic among G fans in like 20 years from now or however long this franchise will go. But I'm pretty sure this movie is gonna keep people gravitated, and I can't wait for that. But okay, now that we talked about the human characters, I like Koichi. Okay, maybe talk further into detail about the human characters. So it's probably December 2nd. So I'll probably title it as 1 year plus 1 day later. Yeah, but yeah, 1 year plus 1 day later. Yeah, Okay, I'll just tell it as that people were happy. I did 1 year plus 1 day later. That keep people happy. But my God, I am in love with this movie. Like I love this movie. Like Koichi, he suffers through PTSD. Yes, this isn't the first character to suffer to PTSD. I know a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but what PTSD actually is um trauma from being trauma that leads to being killed, to wanting to hurt someone or yourself. That's basically what PTSD is summarized as, and that's what and a lot of people are probably, and I'm pretty sure some people from the K Force podcast, which I'm part of, were probably wondering, what do you mean by kind of suffering to PTSD? So that's what I meant. Like PTSD usually starts from trauma and then leading to them wanting to bring harm to each other. So Akane does suffer through some PTSD. So Akane is technically the first character who does suffer through PTSD and has some PTSD when it comes to like suicide and trauma. That's I shouldn't probably say suicide. YouTube, please don't come after me. I didn't mean to say it. Please do not come after me. YouTube, please don't come after me. Please don't come after me. Please don't come after me for saying that. I should have probably not said that. YouTube does not like that. YouTube, we're good. We're good. Okay. We're good. I didn't mean to say it. I didn't mean to say the S word. No, please don't come after me. Something I cannot say on YouTube. Please do not come after this video. Please do not come after this video. I only said it once. Please do not come after me. Please do not come after me. Please don't. Okay. Now that I've said my warning, she basically goes through trauma and doesn't want to live anymore. I should probably just said that, but she does go through PTSD in the movie, and you do see some signs of PTSD, but she never got tested for it. So she does have it, but she never got tested. So I guess, well, we could say the same thing about Koichi, and he never got tested, but I'm pretty sure doctors didn't exist back during the times of war between. I'm pretty sure doctors were wiped out off because of the American occupation. But let's be real. Koichi, I'm so developed in his character, and the family relation that they have with the idea of Koichi and Noiko building a family together just after the war because they don't know each other. They don't know who they are. They don't know a single thing about them, but they decide to put their differences aside just to raise Akiko. And that I just love. I just love that. And the Akiko character is probably the best part. And Sumiko also puts her differences aside, her rages that she has through the war. Like they all put the differences aside and decide to help raise Akiko. And even Sumiko says that she's happy when Noiko says that she wants her to look after Akiko when later in the film when she says that she's gonna go to Ginza and get a job and work an office job, a desk job or whatever. But she does get happy about that. She really does. So she does go through a character arc and does grow to forgive Koichi and Akiko for just basically doing almost. She does forgive. What was his name? Koichi. Yeah, Koichi. My bad. Okay, I'm learning these names. I am learning these names. Koichi. She does forgive Koichi. So that is nice. And Cap, Kid, and Doc are probably the funnest characters in the movie. Like I said back in the previous video that I didn't really care for the characters, but they are still fun characters. My only issue that I have with the characters is, like I said, they don't say their names throughout the entire movie. They legit call them Cap, Kid, and Doc throughout the entire movie. I'm not kidding. Like, I know a lot of people didn't notice that, but I noticed it, and it's like, wait, are you guys seriously calling Cap, Kid, and Doc throughout the entire movie? Like, they barely pronounce the names. They only call them Cap, Kid, and Doc throughout the entire movie. I'm not joking. That's probably what makes them. That probably what brings them down a little bit for me, because they don't call them by their real names in the movie. That probably is what brings that down in terms of characters for me, and that's why I chose the characters from Final Wars. Well, I'm not sure if I actually chose the characters from Final Wars. Did I? I can't remember. I think I chose the characters from Final Wars mostly because of Cat, Kid, and Doc. I think I chose these characters more. Now that I think about it, I did overturn my vote. So yeah, I don't know. I probably have to rewatch the video, but yeah, I did enjoy these characters. I know it was like tied until I got to Godzilla, but yeah. Also, I do enjoy these characters, and Akiko, she's so cute. Like uh, she's so she's so precious. Nothing bad should happen to Akiko. She shouldn't die in any future movies. Keep her alive. I want to know her story. I know Va from ETN probably say, well, everybody's probably dead. Like, okay. I know. Let me talk about a theory real quick. Here's a fan theory of the Black Rain. Like, maybe Godzilla can control his power of the atomic breath. Like, no one has thought of that. And I'm surprised I'm the only one who's actually thought of that. Maybe Godzilla can actually control the power of his atomic breath. Like, if you notice, I noticed a subtle detail. Like, when he blows up the ship in ship out at sea, the first ship that he has when he doing during the Jaws scene, that giant ship, I don't know what the name is, but that battleship that he destroys, like, you only see the explosion but no back rain. You don't see the back rain that kills people. So maybe that was a small blast of his atomic breath, and at his weakest point. And then during the Ginza's attack, that is when it was strongest. That was his strongest atomic breath. That was at its peak, and that wiped out the entire Ginza and reset like an atom bomb. No, when I say atom bomb, I mean an atom bomb. Reset like the reset as strong as that bomb from Bikini Atoll. He released it. He released it in full. As strong as that bomb was at Bikini Atoll, however strong that was, he released it in full. And I know there's probably some articles online saying that it's not as strong as that, but I believe that bomb was as strong as Bikini Atoll, because you just look at because if you look at the damage that is caused, it's either that it was as strong as Bikini Atoll or even stronger than Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like, I'm pretty sure if it's not as strong as Bikini Atoll, I'm pretty sure it was stronger than Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I'm pretty sure it was stronger than those two bombs. But yeah, it was probably stronger than that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody in Ginza is probably dead. They're all dead. Everybody in Ginza is dead. Now, Doc, Kid, and Doc caught everybody during the attack during the final battle with the group, the community service, community watch versus Godzilla, the whatever you want to call it, the band of military people. I know it was a band of military people because I can recognize military people right away, and they did say that they were from the military, veterans from the military. So Godzilla versus veterans, I guess that's what you want to call them. Godzilla versus veterans, I guess. But yeah, basically that battle was amazing, and the blast that he releases on the ship, the decoy ship, that was also at his second strongest. But here's a catch: there was no back lane. You didn't notice any back lane. There was no back lane near the ship. It was at his second strongest, and there was no back lane. So what I'm thinking is maybe the black rain has some effects on this atomic breath, and maybe the black rain only happens on land, and maybe the black rain doesn't happen in the water because he was hit by a bikini atoll in the water. So maybe his breath is probably weaker in the water, or but he can still use it in the water. It's still pretty strong, but not as powerful as it is on land. It's still pretty strong in water, but it's not as powerful as it is on land. So if he uses his stomach breath on land, you're pretty much screwed. So yeah, so it makes sense that they wanted to stop this Godzilla because of the Ginza attack. So yeah, but his stomach breath is not as strong as it is water. That's my theory on the atomic breath. But I could be completely wrong and could be proven wrong. But yeah. But Godzilla himself. Let's talk about Godzilla himself because the characters from Godzilla Minus One are pretty good, and I do care for these characters, except for even though the minor nitpicks that I have with Doc, Kid, and Cap just being called Doc, Kid, and Cap, that's the whole movie. I do care for these characters, and the rest of the supporting cast, I actually do care for. I just they're just there at the end of the movie, and there's not too much time. Like Tatsuo and the rest of the supporting cast, Tatsuo, Tachibana, and the rest of the supporting cast. I don't maybe the radio announcer, the Ataka, Atakaki, the former military personnel, and the rest of the supporting cast are pretty good, but they're basically just there for eye candy. I mostly care about the main supporting cast and their characters. Like I care about them. The rest of the supporting cast is mostly just there to just move the plot along. There's not It's not bad. They're so good characters and they still gravitate to them, but they're just there to move the plot along and just they're not really it's not bad or anything. It's just they're just there to move the plot along. And yeah. They're just there for plot reasons, plot and story reasons. They're not really there to give you eye candy. They're just there to move the plot along. And yeah, I do care for them. Don't get me wrong. I do care for these characters. I care for all the characters in Godzilla Minus One, but a lot of supporting characters are just there to move the plot along and get killed or just move the plot along for the final battle. But yeah, I do care for these characters. I will say that these characters are gravitating. Now, let's talk to the king himself, the king of the monsters himself, Godzilla. And oh my god, this is the first time in a long time, ever since GMK, is where I felt scared of Godzilla. Oh my god. Yeah, this is the first time in a long time where I actually felt like Godzilla was an actual threat. An actual threat. Now, I know a lot of people might be saying, "What about the Monsterverse? Wasn't 2014 an actual threat?" No, he was an anti-hero. He didn't really care too much about humanity. He was an anti-hero, and he didn't really feel like a threat. He just felt like a force of nature. He was an actual threat. I honestly, that was probably, and plus he wasn't even there throughout most of the movies. So yeah, and King of the Monsters Godzilla, I do care for, but he wasn't. He was mostly the hero for that film, and was treated like the hero. And GVK, he went back to being an anti-hero again. So yeah, well actually I do consider him an anti-hero because he does cause a lot of damage. So he's been an anti-hero throughout the Monsterverse. To be honest, he just has support from the military to just escort him. Like the military knows that he's an anti-hero and that he can change at any time. He's basically like the Heisei, but the Heisei Godzilla, but he's an anti-hero, but a force of nature to be reckoned with. And he doesn't really feel like a threat like GMK. So GMK was the last Godzilla movie that I felt like a threat. This is the first Godzilla movie in a long time where the Godzilla actually felt like an actual threat. Like, oh my god. He is threatening. He does not care who you are. Yes, he does have some similar traits to the Heisei Godzilla. And GMK, he's like a mixture of GMK. He has the personality and of Heisei Godzilla and GMK, and he has the vengeful vengeance of 1954. He has those three Godzillas combined into one Godzilla. And oh my god, that is a scary combination to think about. Because man, this Godzilla is terrifying. Terrifying of hell. Like, you take one of the three most iconic Godzillas, the GMK Godzilla, the 1954 Godzilla, and the Heisei Godzilla, put them together, and you got minus Goji. Oh my god, that is the most terrifying combination ever. Like, this guy is threatening, and I'm like, oh like during the Jaws scene, that's what it's called. I know it's probably called something else, but we all call it the Jaws scene. Like, this is basically what it's off. But oh my god, my legit reaction to that was da 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 da. Oh shit! That was my legit reaction to that. I was trying to whip off the Jaws scene, then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit! Both my mom and I said we were both trying to whip off the Jaws scene, then we all said like, oh shit! Yeah, we both said it. We both said it at the same time. It was like comedic timing. Like, we both said, oh shit, at the same time. Like, it was so comedic and so timing that we both said it at the same time. So that was pretty funny. But however, I really love this Godzilla. Like, he's really good. Like, I honestly do care. And he does have the sympathy of the original, of the Heisei Godzilla, and also has a vengeful spirit of the 1954 Godzilla, the vengeful side of Godzilla. Not really so much the ghost stuff, but he's pretty much the Godzilla source. But he has some similarities from GMK, some similarities from Heisei Godzilla, and has the look of the night, and has some similarities to the 1954 Godzilla. Some of them, some I don't know which, because I don't. It's mostly just the GMK and Heisei Godzilla mixed together. That's what I'm referring to. And a little bit of the 1954 Godzilla. He has some traits of the 1954 Godzilla, mostly when it comes to his rampage. It mostly has something to do with the way he rampages throughout the city. That's probably what I'm thinking when it comes to 1954 Godzilla. That's what I'm thinking when it comes to his traits. But yeah, this guy is basically the Jason Voorhees of Godzilla. Like, he does not care who you are or what you are. If you're in his path, you are dead. Like, he legit, throughout his Ginza attack, he is crushing people to death. Yes, you don't see the blood. Well, probably a missed opportunity to do like an R rating, so if you can see the blood, that would have been cool. But no, we gotta say kid friendly. But yeah, my god. He crushes people, and he crushes them, and they're dead. He nubs like, he passes by a building, and you know what he does? Like, he says, nope, I'm gonna sweep you from my foot. You're dead. And he straps to a building with people inside. They're dead. Like, everybody in that Ginza attack is either running for their lives, trying not to be crushed alive, or they're dead. Like, everybody on that train, they're dead. Everybody in Ginza is pretty much dead. And that Ginza attack, easily the best scene in the movie, all the way up the entire Ginza sequence, including the atomic breath scene, are easy the best scene in this entire movie, and it does not ever get topped. So, if you're wondering, well, don't you got a nitpick? Well, not really, to be honest. The third act, I will say, does drag on a little bit too much, but I'm still gravitated to how the plan works. So it's not too much of a distraction of the third act. And the final battle, and the themes to the final battle just does make up for it. So I honestly don't really care about the did I say drag on? Yeah, but the dragging of the third act, I honestly don't really care that much for that. I honestly do care. It's really good. It's pretty good. However, I think my major issue with the film is just the kid is, well, not really a major issue, but I think my two major nitpicks with the film is just Godzilla's dorsal plates not looking right, and Kid, Cap, and Doc just being called that. I have no, but besides that, those are like my only two nitpicks with the film. But besides that, I honestly love this film. This is easily my favorite film. Like Godzilla Final Wars might be the best Godzilla film, at least for now. But that film might be the best Godzilla film and the most fun Godzilla film. Like that, well, 1954 is actually the best Godzilla film. Final Wars is like the most best fun Godzilla film, and Godzilla Minus One is, and Godzilla Minus One is just my favorite. Like, my God, I just love this movie, and automatically, yeah, I have to say this, but I'm sorry, Final Wars. I'm sorry. I know Final Wars will always have a nostalgia factor to me. It will always hold a special place in my heart for the journey it took to get that movie. But my God, Minus One is, it's my Final Wars might be a close second. Minus One just blows it out of the water. Like, my God, I love Minus One. It is easy one of the best, and it deserved the Academy Award for best special effects. It did. It deserved it because the special effects in this movie are amazing. The soundtrack, perfect. The characters, good. Godzilla himself, scary as hell. Like, I love everything that is to do with this movie. I love it. It's perfect. Perfect in every way possible. So I extended Godzilla Month for 2 more days, and hopefully people will love this video. And, well, I know they love it. This. Also, I'd like to thank all the G fans who've been watching Godzilla Month and actually been watching my videos. Like, thank you so much. That means a lot to me that you all watch. They actually watch my videos, because this has actually been the most successful Godzilla Month I had. This has been the most successful Godzilla Month, period. Like, a lot of videos have been getting like tons of views, and yeah, this has actually been a really successful Godzilla Month. So I thank you, all the viewers who've watched those videos. Thank you so much. And this officially ends Godzilla Month 4. I extended it for 2 days because I felt generous, and yeah. Also, should I probably tease what's next for the next video? What came out yesterday? Huh? Wasn't it? Wait a minute. Inuyasha, the final act. It's finally out on Netflix. Well, I know what I'm doing for December 13th. Watching Inuyasha, the final act. Well, I know I'm doing for the special. I'm probably going to do a pre-recorded video and just premiere it on December 13th. So, yeah. Also, probably do a Christmas special on Inuyasha. So, that'll be for Christmas. Yeah. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Yeah. But, yeah. Also, I'll probably do like 2 videos on Christmas. The Inuyasha special and of the entire review of Inuyasha, and then the Inuyasha franchise, an Inuyasha franchise review, and then do just a little update. I'll probably be doing some game. There'll probably be a lot of gameplay series videos in the coming this month. So expect like a lot of gameplay series video, and expect like fewer videos next year. Like, there will still be some videos, but there'll be far in between. So expect a little bit more videos. It'll just be a little update. This is like a little update, just to let you know. Gameplay series is coming near an end, and we're reaching another era of gameplay series videos. And if you do see some gameplay series videos during this era, it's mostly just me finishing out the games and doing the same era at the same time. So it'll be titled as something else. It'll be titled the Revamp era. So yeah. If one with the PS6 era is called, I guess it'll be called V3 era. I guess a V3. I guess V3, because I do like Danganronpa, so I'll just call it the V3 era, and then call the PS7 era the VX era, and then we'll just call it V4, and just I'm just gonna call it V4, V5, V6 for the next couple PlayStations after the revamp era. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it V4, V5, V6 as generic as that sounds. Yeah, but yeah, but yeah. This ends in the Godzilla month, and I'll see you guys next year for Godzilla month 2025. Also, if you guys are wondering, I will be going to G Fest. I can't say anything about what's going on with Kenshin Studios at the moment because I don't know. But yeah, and plus I can't say anything because I know Kenshin Studios will probably get mad at me. But let's just say, yeah, yeah, I can't say anything. I won't say anything. So yeah, just expect something big at G Fest. That's all I gotta say. Something big. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I don't. I'll just wait for them to announce it. I'm not gonna. I'll just tease it. I'm just gonna tease what's going on with Kenshin Studios. I'm just teasing, just giving a little bit of a teaser, just a little bit of a teaser. Yeah, just a little teaser. Just expect something big at G Fest, or not really big at G Fest. Expect like a big update on Kenshin Studios. I'm predicting that they're gonna do like a community meeting sometime next